This hour, just days after thwarting India's bid to blacklist Jaish chief Masood Azhar as a globally recognized terrorist, China, it appears, wants to have a completely different tack on this matter. China has now come forward and said that it is willing to hold more talks with India on the crucial matter. The Pakistan-based militant group Jaish-e-Mohammed had claimed responsibility for the Pulwama terror attack last month. China's foreign ministry has said that it is willing to strengthen communication with all parties, including India, to appropriately handle this issue. China hopes that the committee's actions can benefit reducing the tense situation and also to protect regional stability. China had also reiterated that the technical hold on Azhar's blacklisting was to give more time for the committee to have further consultations and also to study this issue further. Now, the move comes after India said that it was extremely disappointed by China blocking the bid yet again. Now, there were also calls for boycotts of Chinese products on Indian social media, where people said that Indians should give up on their Chinese goods and should not purchase anything that is made in China. Now, the United States had also said that it was, in fact, a counter to a goal that it shared with China of achieving regional peace and stability. Meanwhile, sources have told Wion that India remains pretty optimistic about ultimately blacklisting Masood Azhar and is in fact prepared for the long haul. Now, sources have said that India is willing to give China more time and the ball is now with Beijing to act. Now, India has in fact maintained that it will keep raising this issue at the UNSC, and according to sources, China is also aware of the groups in Pakistan that are working against China. Now, India, along with the United States, Britain and France, remember, had asked the Security Council's Islamic State and also the Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee to subject Masood Azhar to an arms embargo, to a travel ban and also on an asset freeze. All right, now for more on this, we're joined in by my colleague Siddhant Sibil, who's joining us live from New Delhi. Good morning to you, Siddhant. Now, this, of course, is an interesting bit of a overture that is coming in from the Chinese, where firstly, they blocked, and this was essentially the fourth time that they've blocked India's efforts to get Masood Azhar listed as a globally recognized terrorist. But now they have come forth and said that they need more time to, in fact, make up their mind. How are we to read this situation?
Well, New Delhi has said that it's working with UNSC members on the listing of Masood Azhar, and New Delhi is cautiously confident that Masood Azhar will be listed as an international terrorist under the United Nations 1267 committee. We know that China had put a hold. Remember, this is a hold. China hasn't blocked it. There is still 9 months time, 3 months and 6 months till which the hold can be delayed, and ultimately there has to be a decision within 9 months, and India is believing that China will come with a positive decision. Remember that New Delhi believes and understands that Beijing knows that there are terror groups inside Pakistan that are also a threat to China, and New Delhi has said that it's willing to give more time to Beijing when it comes to listing of Masood Azhar, and is confident that Beijing will turn around in certain sense. But New Delhi has clarified that there will not be any deal on listing of Masood Azhar because terror is an issue that impacts everyone, and there is zero tolerance policy when it comes to the issue of terrorism from New Delhi.
Absolutely indeed. But if we were to look at this, what is in fact being said here, that China in fact more time, they're willing to hold consultations, is all of this being said to placate India in the aftermath of what panned out at the UNSC?
Well, diplomacy requires time, and that is why if we look at the reaction coming from China and the reaction coming from New Delhi this morning, it shows that both the countries are still willing to work on the listing of Masood Azhar. We know there are other ways as well. We know France has already frozen the assets of Masood Azhar, who is the chief of Jaish-e-Mohammed, the group behind the Pulwama terror attack. There is, of course, disappointment. The immediate reaction to Chinese hold last week was a release by the Ministry of External Affairs, saying that they expressed the disappointment regarding the action taken by Beijing, but New Delhi is still willing to give China more time, and New Delhi has also said that it will work to make sure that Masood Azhar is listed, and is very confident, actually cautiously confident, that he will be listed very soon, perhaps this year.
Absolutely indeed, Siddhant. Do continue to stay on with us because we'll need your input on the other big story as well that we are tracking, where sources have told Wion that the United States has in fact taken note of Pakistan's use of the F-16 fighter jets that were used in offensive combat action against India on the 27th of February. And this comes amidst conflicting claims by Pakistan that no F-16 was in fact used against India. Now, sources have also told Wion that there is support that is building up for India in the United States, that India acted in self-defense after the Pulwama attack. The External Affairs Ministry is convinced that steps that were taken by Pakistan in the last few days are essentially just cosmetic in nature and that there are no takers in the international community for Pakistan's narrative on eliminating terrorism from its soil. All right, Siddhant, if I can bring you in on this. Now, this is a significant development if indeed the United States is taking up the use of the F-16 fighter jets, which the United States had in fact sold to Pakistan, that were used in what was essentially an act of aggression against India.
Well, the Indian Foreign Secretary was in Washington from Monday till Thursday, in which he held discussions with the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, other members of the US Congress and the US NSA Ambassador Bolton, in which the issue of F-16, which was given by the Americans to the Pakistani, was used in that military offensive by Islamabad against India's military installations in the end of February. And the US side has assured that it will be going to take the entire issue with Islamabad, but by and large US understands that these F-16s were given to Pakistan when the relationship was better, was good, and both New Delhi and Islamabad were treated differently. So Washington clearly told New Delhi that this was a decision taken in last decade, not in this decade, and this decade it will not happen, but also clarified that there might be some kind of public statement from Washington very soon regarding the use of F-16, and if it happens, this will be significant, and it goes and obviously goes to tear apart the propaganda which the Pakistanis have been indulging, even not accepting that they ever used an F-16 which was downed by India.